Well, hello and welcome. Thank you for tuning in to another exciting edition of Un Poco Mas. My name is Danny Deals, your humble host, along with executive producer Hurricane Lopez and supervising producer Stock Karen. We would like to say hello and welcome and hello and welcome. I have just been awarded the shiniest forehead on YouTube, and I'm grateful for the honor. Um, Guys, let's talk SoFi, ticker symbol SOFI. What did you guys think I was going to talk to you about? Toaster and blender reviews? Whether the new Cuisinart foodie oven crisps as well as pressure fries and bakes and air fry. God, who gives a crap, guys? Just get a stove already. Go old school on it, guys. SoFi stock down 30 cents to $8.41, about 3+% on the day. Guys, let's face it. The catalyst today was a Supreme Court decision. Um, the decision comes down as that what would be favorable to SoFi, favorable to the lenders, against borrowers. We have a sell the news event, a pre-planned, preloaded short attack. But guys, what I want to talk to you about today more than anything is corrupt, dishonest, corrupt short tool analysts. Guys, David Chia Pet Chiaverini with Wedbush reiterated yesterday his sell rating at $3, representing 65% downside to SoFi. Of course, the day before that, two-faced tool douchebag Reginald Smith with JP Morgan came out. His price target on the company, in fairness, is double Chiaverini, and he is bearish, extremely bearish. Now, when this piece of garbage, no offense, guys, Reginald Smith, I'm sure he's a great guy. When he was interviewing Anthony Noto at the JP Morgan conference, fintech conference, he said he was a SoFi customer. He used the app every day. Basically, he loved the app. He loved SoFi, blah blah blah. But guys, these tools, they don't control their own calls. I don't believe that for a minute. I think the brass up in the corner office is telling them what to say. And guys, this is just what I'm going to say. David Chiaverini with Wedbush. I remember when he was on CNBC and they were interviewing him about his initial SoFi downgrade to $5, right when the short attack was pre-planned at the earnings report. So whenever you see a short attack on SoFi, David Chiaverini is downgrading the day before. They're obviously pre-planned coordinated short attacks. How does he know about it? Is it coincidence he downgrades the stock immediately before it's attacked? It's just, and I mean, the guy's made about seven downgrades, reiterations, and revisions in the 2 months since the last earnings report. I mean, what's going on at Wedbush, guys? These guys used to be a respectable ratings agency. Now, look at Giuliano Bologna, the bologna head, the bologna sandwich, this birdish looking smiling turd, dishonest piece of shit. Guys, if you look at the pump, okay, there's this guy who's never rated anything in his life. He is with what's the company? BTIG, I think. I don't know what happened to their call. I'm not seeing it anymore. Look, David Chiaverini is listed on here twice. That's the algo can't even keep up with this guy because he's such a corrupt piece of garbage. He just reiterated 18 days ago, then like 2 days ago he revised earnings downward, and then yesterday reiterated his sell rating again. But guys, the guy from BTIG put a $14 buy on the stock. Like, I don't know what happened to that rating. Like, it disappeared off of here. But on the pump up, he put a $14 buy rating on the stock. This guy, Giuliano Bologna, who worked at BTIG for 8 years, then just after, you think like, hey, they're both rating fintech, they were both with BTIG, they're both educated, they're both experienced, they have the same goddamn job, for God's sake. The guy who's at BTIG now replaced this baloney head, and one's at 5, and then the other's at 14. How does that happen, guys? How do two guys who are hired by the same boss, who are educated, On the pump up where they're trying to get retail to buy the pump, buy the FOMO, they come out with a $14 buy. And the guy that used to have that job for 8 years, just like, a week or two later, he comes out with a $5 rating and a sell. Now, neither of them has ever covered SoFi. They just both initiated with these calls. They're both, third rate analyst houses, third rate tool turd scumbags, and they come out and they manipulate the stock. I've never seen big analyst houses behave like this before. I've never seen one analyst downgrade and put out like 6 or 7 negative notes on a stock, just completely out of the blue. And like I was going back to CNBC, when they were interviewing the Chia Pet, the lady and the guy both looked shocked. They had no idea he covered SoFi. They had no idea he covered fintech. They didn't think he knew what he was talking about. They looked confused. I remember the video. They're like, "This guy covers SoFi?" Like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, and he's a regional bank guy. He has no idea what the fuck he's talking about, and yet he's downgraded, put negative notes, reiterated about 7 times, and it always seems to coordinate with short attacks, with attacks on the stock, with bearish attacks. Like, okay, we get he just wants to put himself up to the top of these lists. He just wants to hurt the stock. He's not making any fundamental calls. Like this guy was a buy at like $12 or something just early last year. Okay, buy. He issued like 20 buy ratings. And right as they were doing the short attack from the earnings report this time, after a pretty solid earnings report, B plus earnings report, stocks running up to 650 on FOMO, they do this massive short attack, take it all the way down to $4.50. What do you get from the Chiaverini, who's consistently been a buy? You get a downgrade to 5 and a hold. Then just a couple days later, for no new reason, you get a downgrade to 250 and a sell. And then when he wants to hit the stock again, he upgrades to $3 and a sell, reiterates this $3 again. And he's put out like 2 or 3 different earnings revisions that are just completely absurd bullshit numbers he's just making up. I mean, guys, I don't know what the laws are specifically on analysts coordinating their calls with short sellers and attacks on the stock. Just the rampant corruption of these people. Like, does anybody think the new guy from BTIG and the guy who worked in that job for 8 years don't know each other? They don't have any friends in common. They don't communicate. They didn't have the same bosses. Guys, these guys are serving market makers. The corruption. I know people would go, "Oh, don't cry about manipulate." I'm not crying about it. I'm not selling my shares. I understand it. I feel bad for the people that are buying on emotion and and they think these guys are being honest. Like, look where these people are, guys. Look at the 5-star analysts, even the bears, guys. Bank of America directly competes with SoFi, and this guy is fairly bearish, but he's a solid 4-star analyst who makes positive returns. He's a hold at 10. Piper Sandler, okay? He's a solid 5-star analyst. He's a hold at 8. Okay, Citibank, who's, been fairly bearish, honestly, on SoFi and fintech, he's a buy at 10, guys. A buy at 10. And these are the big banks that compete with SoFi. How can these guys get to a price target of 1/3 of all the big banks that compete with SoFi, the legitimate analysts? Look at the freaking ratings on this guy. He's not even trying to hide the fact that he's completely corrupt. How can you be this bad? How can you be this bad, guys? 36% success rate. His average return is negative 8%. Okay? If you copied David Chiaverini's trades, holding each position for 1 year would result in 36% of your transactions generating a profit. This asshole is right 1/3 of the time because he's not trying to be right, guys. He's not trying to be right. Look at these ratings, guys. He's a buy on January 26. He reiterated his buy at 668. Guys, in August 22, he reiterated a buy at $8. Buy. Then on May 1st, he's a hold at $5. Okay, from May 1st to May 14, he downgrades to a sell at 250. Who rates a stock 5 times after one ER? Then he reiterates his sell again on May 30th. Reiterates his sell again, guys, on June 12th. Reiterates his sell again on June 29th. What analysts reiterate on a company every week or two? What is this bullshit, guys? I mean, again, I'm not selling my shares. I don't feel bad for me. But this guy's supposed to be analyzing the stock based on the fundamentals, not just serving and filleting short sellers and bears, guys. It's absurd. And look at them buy back the shares. I mean, the stock was just in the 830s. Look at these scumbags buy back the shares after they stopped out, you fools, and got you to panic sell. God, I hate you people. The Turd Army. You guys are the problem. You guys are the problem with your emotions and your stop losses and your panic selling and all your bullshit. You're way too easy to manipulate. And I'm very angry. I'm very upset. Guys, volume is super high, trading 70 million shares. Looks like we're going to get back to that 100 million number. Retail's too smart for this, guys. We're too smart for it. Those of us who hold a lot of shares, who've held those shares for some time, who actually read the ERs, who actually bother to listen to the interviews with LaPointe and Noto, we're too smart for this bullshit. But a lot of people, they're new to the stock. They actually believe, oh my God, they actually, maybe they take a look at tip ranks. Maybe they're a new subscriber to tip ranks, which I love. I don't blame, tip ranks for this, but they're just reporting what these guys, the ratings these guys make. But even look at a firm like JP Morgan, guys, who they're extremely bearish on the stock. They're still at 6. Like, how does this guy get to 3? How does Baloney Head get to 5? Like, what does he base that on? What numbers? They just make up estimates. It's like the company's telling you where they're going to be next quarter. They're reiterating, they're telling you where they're going to be. They're setting up a beat like they always do. But no, the Chia Pet doesn't buy it. The Chia Pet, says they're not going to make a profit for another year and a half. This sack of turds, guys. I mean, these guys are freaking turds. I can't take it. Guys, I'm out of it. I don't know what to tell you. I'm just going to either buy or hold because that's what I always do. But guys, Supreme Court gives good news, clearly bullish news for SoFi. Everybody's been waiting for this catalyst. And what happens, guys? We have a pre-planned short attack, and almost like clockwork, what happened yesterday? The Chia Pet, David Chiaverini from Wedbush, reiterates his sell rating on the stock, which he's now done 4 times since the ER, guys. Who does this, guys? Look at Reginald Smith. Like, I mean, another bear on the stock, guys. He has a hold. He reiterates the hold on May 18, and he reiterates the hold a little over, 6 weeks later. This is normal activity, guys. This is normal ratings activity. Look at anybody else. Look at say Truist. I mean, he reiterates against the FUD a little bit, but look at a guy like Jeffries. This guy's pretty neutral. I would say even a little bit bearish at times. Like, he hasn't even reiterated. I don't know. It's not listed on here, but basically he reiterated once. Like, and look at his ratings, guys. 63% successful, average return 11%. You would have followed his trades for 1 year, 63% of the time you'd have made a profit. The Chia Pets number there was 36%. You do better throwing darts at a fucking dartboard than listening to this corrupt piece of shit. Guys, sorry for the rant. That's a SoFi stock. My name's Danny Deals. The show is Un Poco Mas. I know it's just bitching and moaning and pissing all day. I'm doing my best stock carrying impression. Again, guys, it's not for me. I don't worry about losing a few dollars on paper. I plan to hold SoFi stock for many, many years. This makes absolutely no difference to me other than I might add a few shares if they keep pushing it down even further. I don't think they're going to. I think we've seen the low of the day. And now market makers are buying back and covering and all the bullshit they do. Guys, but short interest has absolutely gone through the roof. Institutions are buying. Noto is buying. It's all FUD, guys. Estimated short interest 16%. Take a look at the live short interest today. Borrowed change there. So they say they're returning all these shares. So the shorts are returning 3 million shares. Guys, I do not buy these numbers. Cost to borrow max 14%. That tells me the shorts are going out on a limb and they're overextending themselves. Stock is moving up again, guys. I'm going to predict this stock closes green today. How about them apples? You turds. Stock is closing green. You heard it here. Guys, Topper time check, 9:55 a.m. out here in Los Angeles. 5 minutes to the top of the hour. That's 25 minutes past the bottom of the hour. 2 hours and 5 minutes till you turds on the West Coast get a lunch break, and 5 minutes until I get another double espresso, which I clearly don't need. I'm sick of you turds. I'm going to sign off, but the Turd Army, I need you to march on. I need you to buy into these worthless, short analyst filleting sacks of shit. Guys, who is the baloney head? Who is David Chiaverini? Is this like, Italian American analyst shit on Sofi in service of the short stay, or what? I mean, between his downgrades, his reiterations, and his earnings bashing notes, that's about 7 negative notes on SoFi since the earnings report. Guys, it's unheard of. It's unprecedented. It's unexplainable. It's indefensible. I want to see this sack of shit defend these calls, defend his numbers. Come back to me in a year and defend these numbers you put out. They don't make any sense. Management has always under-promised and over-delivered, and these numbers he's putting out, they just don't make any sense. The American economy is much, much stronger. I'm predicting a green close today. I don't think Sharts can hold it. Guys, we're trading 71 million shares. They say they're returning a bunch of shares. Short interest is through the roof. These numbers don't make any sense, guys. There's all kinds of things going on in the dark pool, going on with options. All these short-term calls have been closed out. The market makers dumped this hot garbage on retail. Look at the numbers, guys. The 850 call is down 70% today. The $9 call is down 83% today. There's huge volume here the other day. I mean, now they're buying them again. They're shitting on retail like they do every single day, guys. And another reiteration of the sell rating by the Chia Pet. He says it's a $3 stock. All the other bearish analysts are mostly between, 9, some are at 8, some are at 10. That's where the biggest, most credible analysts are. Like Truist, he's at 11. Like, he's a 5-star analyst. He's mostly right all the time. John Heck with Jefferies, another 5-star analyst. He's at $9.60. He's right most of the time. The guys who are downgrading this stock to $3 and $2.50 are absolute dishonest, corrupt dog shit, in my opinion. I don't know if what they're doing is illegal. I'm not an attorney, but I wish the SEC and the FBI would look into Wedbush and this guy's calls, because it's fucking absurd, in my opinion. Guys, it's Danny Deals. It's Un Poco Mas. It's the SoFi stock. Ticker symbol is SOFI. It's June 30th, 2023, and I'm in a bunker mentality. Questionable mental state, but guys, I'm going to get the help I need very, very soon. And if not, I'm at least going to have a long weekend to relax and regroup. You guys take care. I'm probably going to rant at you again in about 5 minutes, because I'm on edge, guys. I'm on edge. I like to whisper into the microphone. It's extremely dramatic. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.